Dear students, let us start the discussion on today's newspaper, that is 18th February 2017. The first article, the fight Pakistan must wage within, massacre in Sehwan. Here we are going to discuss about the terrorism and how is it getting reshaped in our continent and especially in our subcontinent, that is South Asian region. Islamic State, by and large, it was confined to Iraq and Syria. Now, we can also see its presence felt in our South Asia and Bangladesh cave incident and recent bomb attacks in Pakistan. The claims were being made by the Islamic State. So, in this context, let us see the Pakistan attitude towards the terrorism. In Pakistan, we can divide the terror groups into two types. One is supported by the state, the other are religiously motivated. And these people who are religiously motivated, they are also taking up the terror activities against other sects of the Islam, which they consider as impure. And Islamic State falls into this particular group. And the problem today is Islamic State made its inroads into Afghanistan and also into Bangladesh, now into Pakistan. In the Pakistan, it was able to make tactical alliances with the local terror groups. Then, it is not a good sign for the entire region, even for the Pakistan. And the recent attack on a Sufi shrine in Pakistan, that is Sufi shrine of Lal Shahbaz Qalandar, is a typical example for Islamic State, and Islamic State also claimed its role in that particular terror activity. And now, the Pakistan army has carried out an operation to weed out the terrorists. It is called Zarb-e-Azab. In this, it has focused only on Waziristan region and the Taliban there, not on the terror emanating from Punjab region. And these terrorists from the Punjab, so these are majorly aimed at India. So the Pakistan is differentiating the terrorists into good and bad terrorists. And from its perspective of a bad terrorist, it is trying to control them. But if you take the bigger picture, these people are totally dangerous for the entire region. So the terrorism shall be fought with the highest might. And cooperation among the countries is very much necessary for the same. So if ISIS is coming into the sub-region, it's a danger sign for everyone. That is what is this article talks about. The Islamic deep state, or else I will say Pakistan's deep state, has got connections with terror elements, and this is going to create much, or else it's going to create a role for the state in the ongoing terror activities, and the state shall take a serious look into these. Now, the most important article today is working on the ISRO principle. Now, whenever we say public sector undertakings, we get a feeling that they are inefficient, non-profitable, and they are going to fail at the end. They need to be disinvested. But what makes the ISRO so successful is the question. Can we learn from ISRO and adopt it to every place? Now, any enterprise has to survive the locality of the enterprise, autonomy to react to the changes happening around, professional management, ecosystem, market, these are very critical. Now, let's take railways as an example. It is departmentally managed. And obviously, the decision making gets delayed in the department managed issues. And similarly, if you go to BSNL, there is too much of bureaucratic control over them. But ISRO is managed by the specialists who are being trained, or else who are technocrats. So in this case, it is directly reporting to the Prime Minister's office. So it has necessary autonomy to make its decisions. And the location is Bangalore, where there is huge connections formed with the private sector. And then there is an ecosystem of technology development in Bengaluru. And this has provided an impetus for the ISRO. So from this, what we can state is, if proper human capital, proper management, autonomy are being provided, public sector's agents or public sector management also can improve and become profitable. That is what is the article talks about. And the second thing is, It does not mean that the public sector shall come up everywhere as like in the welfare state. As like in the Nehruvian socialistic state, the public sector was everywhere. The article is not recommending to take the public sector to new zenith. It is recommending for changing the management style of the public sector where it is still functional. Then, where the public sector has to be functional, it is only the areas where the private sector cannot enter, where the long-term vision of the country has to be fulfilled and which cannot give the immediate profitability, there the private sector shall function. Now, groundwater beneath their feet, ground zero. It is about pollution in Tamil Nadu, heavy metal pollution in Tamil Nadu. So we don't need to get what is the issue over there. Just understand how the pollution can be handled. So here hexachromium is converted into trivalent chromium, and hexa is being more dissolved in water, so it is getting leached downwards. On the other hand, if you reduce it into trivalent, then it will not be absorbed into the water. For this, the technique is bioremediation. We use the bacteria. So what is this bioremediation? Using bacteria or some living organisms to leach out the pollutants from the atmosphere we call bioremediation. Even bacteria are used to eat out the oil spills. So these are oil jeopard, this is called as. Now previously in the UPSC we have a question, phytoremediation. So wherever iron mining is going on and this heavy metal to get into the water can be stopped by growing certain types of the plants which absorb the metal that is existing on the soil and which is free flowing. So that is what is called as phytoremediation. Previously it was the question. So from that perspective I took this article. Now coming to governor is not duty bound by popular will. So the Supreme Court what it stated is, the governor of a state has a discretionary power. He need not be guided by the popular will all the time, or need not be guided by the strength of the legislature or the MLAs of a party who has got the strength in the house to elect their leader. So in this case, the Jayalalitha issue itself has come into question. So here we need to look at the case. We remember this case, that is B.R. Kapoor versus State of Tamil Nadu. And when Jayalalitha was convicted previously, can she hold the chief minister's position was the question. Can her party MLAs elect her as the chief minister candidate, that is leader of the party in the legislative assembly? Can they do that is the question. Then Supreme Court clearly stated that they cannot elect a person who is disqualified to contest the elections. So that way, she did not get into the chief minister's seat. What was the plan which was believed then? There is a 6 months time which is allowed. So 5 months, 29 days or somewhere, she will sit in the chief minister's seat, resign for a day and again sit into the chief minister's seat. So this probability was explored. Then Supreme Court has made it clear that in B.R. Kapoor versus State of Tamil Nadu case, a person who is disqualified to contest the elections can never become a chief minister. So even though she has been elected by the majority of the MLAs in the house. Now coming to the front page, government junks border wall plan. So here understand, India is going through comprehensive integrated border management system. India wants to build this border at the international border between Jammu and the Pakistan. So Pakistan is objecting to this and took it to the UN. So finally, India, instead of building a border, it is trying to bring in a seamless virtual fence. Then any infiltration can be easily detected. This is what is being stated over here. Now, as usual, I gave you the notes. After listening to this class, try to read these notes once, so that how simple we have to write in our exam, you will come to an understanding. And then, when you read it, it makes you comfortable. That is, a task is being fulfilled. That sense of completion comes to you. So that's why I prepare these notes. Thank you very much. All the best.